That's how I always started off my after-school video production class speech. I hate kids. I like working with young adults, but I hate kids. I'm sure some of you can imagine how quickly their little jaws drop when I say that. I remind them that when they come to the television studio, they're no longer in school where teachers have to put up with their crap. I can fire anyone for the slightest misbehaving. There are thousands of dollars of video equipment here, so I don't have time to be a babysitter. Today's children are not used to hearing this. They believe all the BS about their being the future. Thus, most expect we adults must genuflect when in their presence. They believe they have rights, freedom of expression, and are on equal footing with adults. And to be quite honest, most lack the maturity to be awarded any of those things. All adults should be paid to have to put up with them. For example, you couldn't pay me enough to be a school bus driver. Almost 3 years ago, I cited a few examples why. Nothing has changed, especially after what happened last week in Gilbert, Arizona. According to ABC News, tensions began with the 15-year-old girl pretending not to be on the list of authorized passengers. The situation escalated when Sullivan pulled the bus over and asked, "Why are you on the bus?" And she suggested she find another way to get to and from school. The tape shows Sullivan trying to confront a student trying to exit the bus at an unauthorized stop after the two got into a discussion about her being disruptive on the bus. Now, what would you do if an unruly teen not only played games with the rules, but also publicly challenged you in front of others? You're responsible for their safety, yet a young teenage girl gets in your face, uses profanity, and threatens physical violence. You know, however it turns out, you'll be thought of as being in the wrong. The little darling's mom will assume you are out of line, you may get fired, and probably sued.
Every day these kids would come home and go, "Mom, you have no idea what this bus driver does." And you tell them, "Go home, it's okay. Just go ahead, it's okay. You know, it's a bus driver, how bad could it get?" Evidently, it can get pretty bad.
There was a time when an authority figure's claim of our misbehaving would seal our doom with our parents. It was always assumed if a teacher said we did it, we did it. But today, if a teacher says the kid was acting up, the normal parental response is,
"Are you sure it was my child? My child would never do that."
The kid hears that teacher's authority challenged by the willing sucker parent, and a future license is informally issued for future disruption. If I were named Secretary of Education tomorrow, one of the first things I'd do away with is this notion that kids have rights. Sure, they have a reasonable expectation of coming to a safe environment and being afforded courteous treatment by school faculty and administration. But as far as their having rights, hell no. If the school has a dress or grooming code, some parents openly defy those rules and sometimes go as far as suing the school. I understand they have a dress code. I understand he has a uniform, but this is total discrimination. They can't tell me how I can cut his hair.
They're saying that his hair is a disruption to the classroom, which I don't understand how.
And we get all shocked when kids act up. When we were in school and there was a locker search, it was just done. It was understood by parents and students alike that those lockers were school property. Nowadays, our children assume those lockers are their own personal property, and their parents would call the ACLU in a heartbeat if they felt their little darling's privacy was violated. When we were younger, it was understood that if a bus driver told us to sit down and shut up, we did so. There was none of this getting in the face of that driver with all the R-rated language there was time to deliver. And God help us if our parents found out. I do hate most kids today. They lack in phone etiquette, don't bathe regularly, thank you, Axe, and lack manners in general. They assume they are on equal footing with adults and that we must show them respect. My father taught me that people upon first meeting deserve to be treated in a courteous manner. Respect was earned. I'd throw most kids under the bus today before I'd ever give them a thankless ride in one. But that's only me.